Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the morning show. Spencer Israel here with JC Parets and Steve Strazza. Hope you're all having a good start to your morning. Jerry Carey, Ravi, Curtis, Sam, Gatlin in the chat, Frey Lee, Ryan Heath. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ken K, Kamikaze Keebler. Don't know if I've seen you before. I don't know. Great name, though. Welcome, everyone, to the show. We got a lot to talk about today. We will try our very best to be off the air before 10:05 a.m. Eastern time because I know you all are going to be glued to your screens for Jerome Powell. And by glued to your screens, I mean doing something else. I don't know. All right. What do we got? We got some earnings. We got to talk. Yesterday was a critical day, man. We had NVIDIA popping off, and yet not a great reaction. We'll talk about that. We got some earnings. We got some movers. There's a SPAC I want to talk about for once. Yeah, that's the show. Smash the like. Let's roll.
All right, we're back. Crypto Fridays, huh?
Is it though? Is it? It doesn't feel like a Crypto Friday.
I mean, Bitcoin's down, so I'm wearing my red shirt with lines, appropriately so. I don't know. Seems like a pretty standard Crypto Friday these days, my friend.
Unfortunately, you're right. Been boring.
Why unfortunate for who?
I have emotions, unlike you. We've been through this. We'll continue to disagree. I prefer it when asset prices are rising, or at least there's some sort of volatility. This is boring and bearish.
Well, we did see some volatility, and if it's bearish and short, what's the problem?
All right, I'm ready for state of the markets.
Well, I don't know what the problem is. The market goes up, the market goes down. I don't see a problem.
I'm not going to go short Bitcoin.
The problem is there's nothing to say about it. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, I got plenty to say.
Okay. All right. State of the markets.
Let's do it.
Let's do.
You know, JC, meant to ask you, how was the first day of school? How'd she do?
My daughter's first day of school was successful. You know, she wasn't thrilled about it when the parents left. You know, she was all excited for it, and then when she realized that we weren't staying, like, she wasn't thrilled. And then when we went to pick her up, this was on Wednesday, we went to pick her up, and she got emotional when she saw us. She's like, "Oh shit, that's right. You guys left me here. What the hell?" Right? And then yesterday was her second day. It was better. And then today's her third day. She's on her way there now, and I'm actually going to pick her up later without her mother. So let's see how that goes.
But she's having fun.
It is fun. I mean, they sing and they play games, and it's fun for them. Like for me, I think of school and I just think torture, right? But like at that age, like it's fun, you know. All right. Yep. Speaking of fun, here's the S&P 500. So fun. Take a look at slide 6 here. You got the S&P 500 really stuck in this range. I mean, it's as clear as day. So the environment that we're in right now, I continue to stress, is not the same environment that we were in the first 6 months of the year. It's just not that. And for that matter, you know, you can really take it back to the fourth quarter of last year. You know, the last 3 quarters, you know, it was just an environment where we were looking for sector rotation, looking for stocks to buy, buying breakouts, more breakouts. This ain't that. Right? The strategy, you know, notice how we weren't selling options in the first half of the year. We were buying options because they were so cheap, right? Selling options was a waste of time because, you know, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Now, on the other hand, we find ourselves every week selling premium. We sold premium in Microsoft this week. Last week it was in Freeport-McMoRan, collecting income. These are the types of strategies that work in this environment. So you can either just have one strategy and force that strategy upon the market, no matter what the market's doing. You're entitled to do that. I don't recommend it, right? Seems pretty stupid to me. Like, why would you use your umbrellas when the sun's out, right? What are you using your sunscreen for if it's raining? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Are you going to brush your teeth with a hammer? No, right? There's a time and a place for different tools and strategies, right? If we want to brush our teeth, we don't need a hammer. We need a toothbrush, right? If we want to make money in this market, buying premium is, in my opinion, less advantageous than being a net seller of premium. Nevertheless, here's the S&P 500. I think it tells a very clean, easy story. Prices are above support from former resistance and stuck below former resistance, like in that range. And there's no evidence whatsoever that we're going to be out of this range anytime soon. We might break below it, right? And drop down towards 4,100, maybe even lower. That can certainly happen. An upside breakout, tough. I got to see it first. But nevertheless, this range is really really like in that movie, like I'm the captain now, right?
Yeah.
This range. What's the name of that movie?
Isn't that Captain Phillips?
Captain Phillips. I haven't seen it, but I did see I saw the trailer. Should I see it? It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it either.
You haven't seen it either. All right. Well,
have you seen it, Spencer? It's a great movie. Yes.
Really? I like Tom Hanks. I really like Tom Hanks a lot.
It's a great movie. Even if you know the ending, which we all do, it's still a good movie.
I don't know the ending. Is that ignorant of me that I don't know the ending?
No.
No idea.
Is this a true story that I'm supposed to have studied in history or something?
No, because it happened like 10 years ago.
It happened. This is a real story?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You should see it though. It's good.
I don't know the ending, so that's good, right? My ignorance is an advantage in this case. Okay. Speaking of ignorance, there are people who think that these charts are in uptrends. Let's go through them one by one. There's four the most important groups of stocks on this here planet of Earth, which is where I live. I don't know where the rest of you live, but this is the market that I have to deal with. And here's semiconductors. You can argue this is the most important sector in the market or industry group in the market. I don't know about all that, but I think we can all agree that this is certainly in the conversation of one of the most important groups of stocks on the planet. And what do you know? We are stuck below the prior cycle's peak. Go to the next one. Home builders. Again, you can argue this is the most important industry group, or at least in the conversation of where we spend our discretionary income. Most people have the majority of their net worth tied to their homes. I don't know who convinced them to do that. That seems like a terrible idea. Nevertheless, home builders stuck below overhead supply. Next one. Here are industrials. This sector has the highest correlation with the S&P 500 historically among all the S&P sector indexes, stuck below overhead supply. And the last one, Mr. Israel, here is technology as a group, the largest component of the S&P 500, coming in at almost 30% of the index, half of the NASDAQ 100 index, also stuck below overhead supply. And then when you look at all four combined, I like how I did this here. I'll give myself a shout out to JC here for combining all of them into one shot, just so you can see they all look the same, Strazza. They all look the same. They're all struggling below that. And I have no idea how long it's going to take, but my suspicion is, based on my experience, it's going to take a lot longer than most people wanted to. How do you feel about that?
Well, two of them are the same.
Which
but
ones?
This is the theme right now.
Which two are the same?
Semis and tech.
I mean, half the tech index is not in the semis index, right? Apple and Microsoft are not semiconductors.
I understand.
And that's 50% of the tech index, and none of them are in semis, so they're different.
Sure, but overlay those stocks with the semiconductor index.
All right.
Which is which?
Yeah, fine. But I'm just saying, it's not just semis. It's the mega cap tech stocks, which are the big component of the S&P 500, not the semis. Semis aren't the big component. Technology is.
It's not the point. Like, the big takeaway here is we're seeing this scene here on so many charts right now. And these are the best groups, what you're showing here. Right? These are some of the best stocks and strongest indexes.
Were the best earlier this year, basically, right?
Overhead supply at the former highs. If you look at some that don't look as good, throw up chart 6 or 6 and 7, JC.
Well, that would be Mr. Spencer Israel here. Software, yep. Look at that. Wow.
So software, this is equal weight software. I think this is one of the best indexes for information when it comes to growth stocks, right? Software is just such an important group outside of semis that, I mean, they're both the 1 and 2, right? Who's one? We don't know. But this is software on equal weight basis, right? So it removes all that cap weight effect that you're just talking about in something like XLK. So clean. August highs from last year, the first half highs from this year. We ran right back up into this level. It's also where the AV WAP is from the all-time highs, bearish engulfing, reversing lower. So we're seeing this overhead supply theme even on charts that haven't broke out of their bases yet, falling back into the box, undoing these reversal patterns that might have completed earlier on in the summer. Same thing.
Spencer, what do you think here? Do you think I'm being a little dramatic, or do you think that this is a fair point that we're making, that these things are stuck below overhead supply, they're a mess, sell premium? Am I crazy, or you think I'm onto something here?
No, I don't think you're crazy. Strazza and I were talking about this yesterday on Chart Request Live. I mean, the action yesterday, like if you wanted to hit the alarm bell and like starting from the rooftops, like you could do that, right? Like I wouldn't do that, but like you could do that if you wanted to, like say that's it. All right, chips off the table. Let's all go home now, right? I mean, it didn't inspire a ton of confidence yesterday. I know you're looking at more than just yesterday. And it's funny.
What are you talking about? Because this Nvidia lost its gains,
and just tech broadly, but
whole market. It was the whole market.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny you brought up those four sectors, and now everyone in chat's asking, well, what about energy? What about financials? Well, those charts don't look like that.
right?
Why don't I see the chat in Restream?
I don't know.
Changed?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either.
Yeah, not like we normally do.
Oh, interesting. I don't see it either. Well,
right.
that's because
I got a fun one for you, JC. Throw up the Nvidia chart. Spencer.
Which
question
chart is that?
for both you guys. Is it cheating, while we're on the topic of yesterday's price action, is it cheating to just look at Nvidia with a line chart?
No.
Yesterday, right? That's fine.
In fact, it's not only is it cheating, I would argue it's cheating to not use the line chart.
Yeah. So what
did Charlie Dow teach you, Strazza?
No, listen, I'm with you. It's a fun question. We wrote about this yesterday. This is just textbook, right? Speaking of overhead supply and the strongest stocks, this is the first Fibonacci extension since we got that base breakout on the last quarter's earnings report. Still sitting right there, poked our head above. I mean, 475 is a big level. If you're looking for a place to get in, somewhere to define your risk, that's it. This is a short-term continuation pattern. We would presume that it resolves higher in the direction of the primary trend, like JC's been saying. Let's see it. And one more comment on something like this. Don't overthink these momentum divergences. Right? This is a potential bearish momentum divergence. In many occasions, strong uptrends like this, you'll see momentum catch up to price. And eventually you'll get that overbought reading if and when we get a breakout here. Yeah? No? Don't overthink the momentum divergence. Hot or not hot? Take.
I mean, listen, say what you want about NVIDIA. Closing prices are the most important prices to me. Charlie Dow never mentioned after hours trading, pre-market trading, intraday trading. Charlie Dow taught us to, focus on closing prices. And not for nothing, look at closing prices. NVIDIA showed relative strength yesterday, did it not? You going to fight me on that? Did it not show relative strength? Did it not perform better than practically anything else, especially in the semiconductor space? Did it actually close green?
I mean, JC,
it
did. Yes.
It closed green, but
no, Spencer, it was relative strength. The whole market was red. NVIDIA was up. There were like 3 stocks positive in the NASDAQ yesterday. It's like Autodesk, a couple other like earnings winners, and then NVIDIA 0.1%. 3 stocks were up. NVIDIA was one of them. So it is relative strength. The tape was not anything to get excited about.
I mean, listen, I know there's a lot of drama queens out there that have never seen an intraday reversal and are like, maybe they were irresponsibly long NVIDIA, but that sounds like a personal problem for somebody who doesn't give a damn and someone who doesn't have a horse in the race. I really don't care at all. I see relative strength in NVIDIA, and I don't see what the problem is. What's everybody crying about?
No, you're right, JC. I would totally agree. It does just have the makings. I'm marking up a chart real quick so we can talk about it. It has the makings of a textbook failed breakout. That's all, right? So that's That's the narrative right now. But I think what you're kind of alluding to is it's a messy market. We're not seeing follow through in either direction right now. And this is probably just more of the same.
Factually, JC is correct, but the spirit of the day, right, it doesn't jive with that sentiment.
And do we get paid? Do we get paid for facts or the spirits that you speak of?
Spencer, you just gave him an alley-oop with this one.
Spirits, Spencer? Do we get paid for spirits? Strazza, have you ever gotten paid for the spirit?
Oh, God.
Boy, I got one more thing before we get into crypto.
Sure.
Can you do me a favor, Mr. Spencer Israel? Can you throw up the quad chart? The quad chart. That means that there are 4 charts overlaid there. Quad chart.
Okay. Fine.
Where are you? Where are you looking at?
We already saw it. I'm just going to reiterate.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yep. We already saw it. I just want everybody to see it. I want you to breathe it. I want to smell it, look at it, listen to it. You see this? We are back at those former highs for the first time since the prior cycle's peak, right? Now, why don't you mosey on over there, Mr. Spencer, to slide number 8. And this is gold futures. Man, does that look exactly the same, don't it? Am I crazy or do they look exactly the same? Strazza?
Gold's more like a 2-year consolidation. The stocks is like a 1-year.
All right. Nevertheless, first time back to those former cycle peaks, right? Now go to the next slide. This is a year and a half later. We're still not through those levels. All right. And you could say, well, gold sucks and, AI revolution and blah, blah, blah. This isn't going to be like that. Yeah, maybe it won't be like that, but it could be, right? It could be. So we are currently in the exact same predicament that I remember being in March of 22 and saying the exact words. I wonder how long it's going to take for gold to absorb this overhead supply and ultimately break out. I think it does break out. I just don't know how long it's going to take. Here we are 6 quarters later, and it still has not broken out. And by the way, doesn't seem like it's happening anytime soon either. So the clock keeps ticking here. So I'm not saying a year and a half from now, we're going to be looking at these levels being like, holy shit, it still hasn't broken out. I don't think it's going to take that long. I don't think it's going to take a year and a half. But as investors, we have to be aware that we are stuck below overhead supply and the market doesn't give a damn about our time horizon or what's convenient for us. It's going to do whatever it wants to do. Is this a good comparison, or you think I'm way out of whack on this one?
Yeah, and there's also those 2011 highs in gold too. Spencer asked me a question yesterday because I was talking so much about overhead supply. Spencer, do you want to dare ask JC what you asked me?
You're referring to the sure. I actually almost didn't ask it yesterday because I wanted to maybe save it for the show, but I asked it and Strazza gave a pretty good answer. But JC, I'll ask you.
Well, I really didn't give much of an answer at all. JC does a better job.
Okay, so the question was, you're looking at a 20-year base pattern, for example, right? How much price memory is there really from 20 years ago? I mean, how many people that owned whatever the asset was 20 years ago are still in it now? I'm sure
a lot. And remember, it's not the people. The people don't matter. Individual investors are irrelevant. They don't matter. These are institutions. And when it comes to capital allocation, it goes back decades for sure. 100%.
Sure. Somebody's like, oh, who even remembers if they bought something 20 years ago? It's on the general ledger.
Yeah.
They don't need to.
Yeah. These are not individual investors. Individual investors don't matter.
Sure. I completely agree that institutions are the one driving price, no doubt.
Yeah. And they're the ones with the price memory. Yeah, for sure. Regardless of whether the components have changed or not. Which is really fascinating because when you look back and you could be like, look, the components are way different, but the market reacts to it every time.
For illustrative purposes, should we throw up chart 1?
Sure. And Ron Cowling in the stock market media chat says, I remember.
Listen, there are people who do remember, and there is price memory on an individual basis, but it doesn't actually matter at the end of individuals.
So my answer was this, JC. Throw up chart 1, Spencer.
Yeah, I got you.
I've seen too many charts like this. I don't know why, and I don't really concern myself too much with it. but we could say the same thing about Fibonacci extensions and retracements.
Yeah.
See it work enough. I can waste my time and energy worrying about other more important things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, the components of financials in 2007, what they look like now is laughable. How different they are. Bear Stearns ain't around no more, right? Lehman gone, AIG gone, Mother Merrill gone, right? All these things blew themselves up. Yet, decade and a half later or so, the market continues to respect these levels. So you can question it. You could pretend it's not happening and like, and like hope it goes away or something. Like that's how people act. But it's just facts, just math. It's all that polarity, Mr. Israel.
Let's.
I don't disagree. I was just throwing the question out there. I don't necessarily have.
Our friend and friend of the show, Michael Batnick, fights me on this every time and loses each of those battles because I have facts and he has opinions, right?
Okay.
It's always
shout out Michael Batnick.
Okay.
If you ever want to see JC at his finest, I think this was like the December show, like a year and a half ago or something, where you went on the facts thing.
I was talking about facts.
You were talking about facts. It was hilarious.
Where on their show?
Well, you were explaining technical analysis, but in the best way.
Yeah, at the end of the day, technical analysis focuses only on the facts, right? So the problem is with a lot of people's analysis is that they're focused on opinions and estimates and like garbage in, garbage out, right? So we have the advantage that we only analyze facts, so we don't have to worry about opinions and estimates.
Imagine being a fundamental analyst.
No.
Sit there and work all day, right? And then, the next quarter, something comes out. Oh, those numbers were wrong. Or you get a revised report.
Oh.
And you're sitting there, you build a model.
Tough life.
And then the data, here's the funniest part. I went to Fairfield University. It's a very good school and great accounting program and, outside of Greenwich, Connecticut. So a lot of finance and everything like that. And I know some of these auditors and not to hate on Fairfield auditors. There are other auditors there from other schools. I promise you, they have no idea what they're counting. They have no idea what they're doing. Because if you have, correct me if I'm wrong, Strazza, if you have one of these shit jobs to audit these companies, you're the low man on the totem pole. You know the least, right?
A lot of times it'll literally be like an entry-level employee who's just a senior in college, 6 months earlier, auditing like a stock loan, stock borrow account or financial instruments, like these complex derivatives and trying to figure out how to use
There's no chance that they know what they're doing.
It's a big listen. I don't want to talk too much about it. I spent many years in public accounting, but a lot of it is just a CYA exercise where they're documenting and covering themselves from liability and making sure that if, God forbid, something is wrong, that they'll be okay.
That's why Strazza gets so excited when the auditors are like, yeah, they're done. I can't sign this, right? Like if it gets to that point, that's how bad it is. Like it's like, because they'll sign anything from what I've seen. So like the fact that they're not willing to sign off on it, like just shows you just how bad the situation is, right?
It's really rare. It's really rare. But that whole relationship, the auditor client relationship it's a whole fascinating thing. That could be a book in and of itself.
Yeah, because think about it. If you're a big customer and you pay these auditors a fortune, if these auditors don't give you the go ahead, they ain't getting it next year, right? Or next quarter.
That's where the whole industry breaks down, right? You have to kind of remove that relationship and you need some sort of, and I'm not one for more government and more regulations, but you need somebody in the middle there who kind of negotiates the relationship. So you remove the company from the auditors, create some distance, because what it becomes is, hey, we paid you a couple $1 million. You're going to come in here and give us a hard time. You're not going to sign off on our, you know what I mean? It's really hard.
I took you to the Knicks game, and then we went to the establishment afterwards. Remember, we had a good time. You're not going to sign off on the doc?
And it's true. Like, you're friends. You become friends with them. You work in their office. So, yeah. Fun time.
There's a technical term for this. It's called a shit show. And that's what the fundamental community is always like confused and lost and like surprised at what the market's doing. If you just focus on the market, you're going to have a much, much bigger advantage. I can tell you that much. So, all right. So that is our show today. Auditing 101. Parents, don't let your kids become auditors or economists. It's a terrible way to go through life.
let's bring this full circle. Finish the NVIDIA conversation. Speaking of tough job for fundamental analysts, these guys just have no idea where these numbers are going. Like we were talking about the other day, they're making $14 billion a quarter today. Where does that number go year 2, 5 years from now? Are we talking about $100 billion? They say this is a $1 trillion space. So we're trying to figure out how to price this stock in real time. What really happened yesterday was, to me, based on the price action, it's like, well, what do these guys have to do, right? 100% sales growth pretty much over the past 3 months. They're absolutely killing it. Nobody's buying the stock. At least we didn't see the tremendous bid that we saw after the last quarter. I think for now that tells you, maybe this is just kind of sideways and dead in the water for a while. Because I don't know what they would have to announce or what they would have to say at this point.
This may seem super obvious in hindsight, so like Monday morning, but like, is it possible that the market just wants to like get through whatever the heck Jerome Powell is going to say? Right?
The market doesn't care.
Oh my God! No,
no.
Listen,
all right.
These things are for journalists. It helps keep journalists employed, and I'm all for it. But if you're an investor, like
I don't care personally, but maybe other people do care. So
it seems to me as if the market has done what it always does and did a tremendous job of pricing this in, right? Because like the headline number was that like the sales estimate was 12 and they came in at 14. No, as it turns out, the estimate or where the market thought sales would be was right around where it came in, right? Otherwise, it would have seen a lot bigger move. So I just think it's all this good news and this awesome earnings performance is baked in for now.
Why don't we get to a little Crypto Fridays before we get to the hot corner? Interesting transactions there. You want to run it? Hit it. Yeah, Speaking of shit shows,
Friday bumper.
We have some earnings too. Don't forget about that. Jeez, Louise,
or lack thereof. It's a great bumper, right? It's a great bumper, no? You don't think it's a good bumper?
No, they're all good. I can't pick favorites among my children, but they're all good.
Dude, you're so full of shit. That's definitely one of the best ones. Can we start up with the old Bitcoin slide 18 here? You can see these Fibonacci extensions, and 31,000 continues to be the level. Bitcoin keeps failing there. We've talked about it 1,000 times. Nothing new until Bitcoin's able to really hold above 31,000. It's in a range at best, downtrend at worst. And that's the situation there. Why don't we look underneath the surface to some of the on-chain analytics? Fortunately, in the crypto markets, we have a lot more data than we do in the equities market or the bond market or the commodities market. If we only had, the transparency and the visibility in the crypto markets is tremendous. What I would give to have this data in the equities market. So here we're looking at a couple of lines. We're looking at the realized price for BTC in orange. Realized price, think of it like the anchored VWAP, right? The volume weighted average price, think of it like that. We're still well above that. Also, the long-term holders cost basis. Long-term holders are anybody who's been holding for over 155 days. That sits right in with the realized price. But I will point you to the pink line above. Market just closed below the short-term holders cost basis. So short-term holders have owned Bitcoin for less than 155 days. And what do you know? We just broke below that. So that's one of the quote-unquote anchored VWAPs, if you will, in this particular market. We treat them in very similar ways, is why I keep referencing that. Do you agree with that? Is that a good way to explain it?
I think so. I was just actually thinking to myself, these on-chain analytics, I wonder if they come back in the same way. They have done such a tremendous job with this data, like you've mentioned, continues to get better and better. And like there was, JC, and we were very much participating in it, and it was fun. We learned a lot. But there was a bull market for crypto data back in 21, 22 too. And I wonder what that'll look like, during the next bull cycle when we get there.
Yeah, it's a small segment. Think about how many people are like us that are interested in this data. I feel like the majority of people are interested in the, if they're going to be interested at all, they're going to be interested in the commentary on the data, the explanation of the data, not so much the raw data itself like us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. which is fine. All right, keep going. Here we're looking at the number of coins overbought and oversold. We're not seeing any coins at all getting overbought. Overbought conditions are evidence of uptrends and strong markets, which we're not in. So we're not seeing any overbought conditions, but we're seeing plenty of oversold conditions, which is evidence of weak markets, which obviously we're in. Notice next chart, you can see the Bitcoin RSI and the average altcoin RSI, both in bearish regimes, really just confirming that these assets are not in uptrends, which we already know. You know, we like to use momentum as a supplement, right? It's a secondary indicator to price, and price continues to point lower. So this is really just confirming that. You can look at the next one. That's the altcoin index, and then altcoins relative to Bitcoin, just trending lower. This speaks to that Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin as a percentage of the overall crypto market cap is increasing, that's not a good thing, right? That's a defensive trade. That is rotation into more defensive assets, or the defensive asset in this case, which is Bitcoin. When you're seeing the altcoins outperforming, when you see the Bitcoin dominance diminishing, meaning other altcoins are taking over that market capitalization and eating into that pie, those are signs of strong markets, and we are obviously not in that. What do you think about Binance here, Strazza? Next chart. Are we gonna get slaughtered? Is this air pocket gonna get filled?
This is what this looks like these days. Can't own it.
Take a look at the next chart.
Can't own this. And unfortunately, there's not really a good way to short it either.
It's true. That's the bummer here. No, you make a good point. That's the bummer here.
Yesterday you guys were talking about swag or Yetis like 2 days ago, right? The best piece of swag, that a conference swag that I have is like a Binance tote bag that I bring to the grocery store with me. I love going in public with my Binance bag. It's awesome.
You get weird looks?
No, I've never been asked about it, but one day I will.
You take an FTX bag, you might get beat up.
Yeah, it's true.
He's in jail.
Who? CZ?
No.
Oh,
Sam. the
Samuel.
Yeah. What do they call him? Fat Fred Savage.
Like
Who calls him that?
Jail too.
We call him that.
Isn't he like in a real jail?
Yeah, he's in a real jail. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's it's probably not a good situation. I think he's like a vegan or something like that. So he's asking for like vegetarian cuisine, and they're like telling him to shut up. I don't know, something like that. Anyway. I don't know. I read that. I don't know if it's true or not. But nevertheless, let's finish up here with the ETH Bitcoin. This is the old flippening chart, and you know, I wouldn't short it. I mean, it looks constructive. I wouldn't put it on. I wouldn't short it. I think the next chart really tells the story. Shout out Louis here with the description. Fat mess, right? Speaking of Sam Bankman-Fried, look at this thing. Look at this. What a fat mess. I mean, I'm more of a hot mess kind of describer. This is Louis throwing up the fat mess.
And no, just to be clear in the chat here, we love all of our vegan clients. We're just not going to join you on that endeavor.
Yeah, we are carnivores here. This is a carnivore first morning show. So we are interested in eating animal proteins. The more animals we can consume, the better on a daily basis. What? We eat animal protein.
Yeah.
In fact, I like to eat extra animal protein. So if there's any vegans out there that thinking they're making an impact, I can remove that impact they're making by eating twice as much animal protein. Right? So that's my goal.
It's like you can like they have the what is it, the carbon emissions market?
Animal protein offsets.
Yeah.
Wait till recess. I'm going to tell you about my my fish order. Speaking of delicious animal proteins from San Diego, and I had the San Diego crew check out the fish shop, and they gave me the okay.
Great.
And that, my friends, is Crypto Friday.
Hey, drop a like for Crypto Fridays. We try to do this once a week. We do it once a week. Dedicate some portion of the day to talk about crypto because it's important. All right.
I'll just add to the conversation as we wrap it up. These crypto stocks too. There's really nothing to say here. So the Bitcoin miners off 50% just from their July highs. And we talk about how they're the higher beta play in this space. When Bitcoin moves, they're going to move a whole hell of a lot more because they're leveraged to the price of Bitcoin. You're seeing that even Coinbase down 35, almost 40% off its highs, month and a half ago.
Yep.
So yeah.
Spencer, you want to hit some earnings before Kimmy comes on?
Yeah, we'll do some earnings quickly, and then
anything. You want to start with the SPAC?
What didn't we have Autodesk?
Yeah, there are. I was saying there are a couple, so let's cover those quickly.
All right.
All right. I want to start with, in no particular order, a firm here is up 5% this morning, but was up more. So the spirit of the morning is that it was higher.
Well, you were talking about this better that we had to talk about. It's the same story here. All of these, startups that came public during the last bull cycle, a lot of this buy now, pay later, financing bullshit, they're all zeros. They all look terrible.
Don't know if it's a zero, but they're still not making money. A firm is. They're
Spencer. Here's why
it's a software stock, but what is it actually?
It's buy now, pay later. It's basically it's basically layaway.
Stop. Here's why these companies are zeros. Because Amazon or Apple are going to do it better if that's the business that they want to be in. If this is a business worth being in, those guys are going to do it better. That's who you're competing with. I don't understand what this firm is even still doing.
Certainly not.
It's
terrible. Go slide one, just so to give people some perspective on what a piece of hot garbage this thing is.
What's the other one? Upstart, Upwork. There's like a buy now, pay later. It doesn't get any worse than that.
Not Upstart. But yeah, I mean the firm has been bad, real bad. Yes, this is a zero. This is a zero rate story, no doubt about that. I'm not arguing
this business model so much. I just think about
the wild thing is they didn't even invent it. It's not even a new. They just reinvented the wheel, man. But like layaway's been around forever, right? So. What's the one? Rent-A-Center? Isn't this Rent-A-Center's model? RCII or something?
You got to be careful with these sketchy lending businesses. Never ends well.
Yeah. So anyway, a firm reporting this morning. There's a chart. It's up, but not saying a whole lot. The Gap. We talked about retail being the haves and the have-nots. Yeah. Great report for the Gap here this morning. Holy moly. Their overall revenue came in a smidge lower, but their EPS was a huge beat. What's the stock? I haven't looked at that one this morning.
Can we talk about the shrinkage of the day? Should we talk about the shrinkage of the day?
Who's talking about shrinkage?
The daily shrinkage?
Nordstrom now?
Yeah.
Nordstrom. Nordstrom is blaming shrinkage, yes.
Jeez Louise, these companies that shouldn't exist are blaming people that they're stealing stuff from their stores. It's not that people are stealing stuff. Nobody wants your stuff, bro.
Hold on. They are. But so stop. It's a thing. Like it's all everybody's talking about now. Have you heard of a smash and grab?
I'm familiar.
Is this a style of stealing?
It's a thing. It's like I'm not just make this up.
I'm not a shoplifter, so if you can explain to me how this works.
Dude, you got to look up these YouTube videos. I was just looking them up this morning when I heard about it. It's crazy. It's
Can you tell me what a smash and grab is?
They
smash like a donkey punch.
They smash the windows in, and like a mob of people just flood into the store at the same time that just grab as much shit as they could and they run out. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like a blitz. It's like a blitz attack.
It's a blitz, but for thieves. Yes,
it's shoplifters. A blitz for thieves. I didn't go to thieves school, so I'm not familiar with such tactics.
Look,
Ulta Beauty, right?
We're not saying it's not a problem, but to blame your quarter on it, I think is a little bit.
Here's how we know it's crap.
Nordstrom. Who goes to Nordstrom? I know you guys make fun of me that I don't go to stores, but like seriously, come on, Nordstrom's. Nobody goes there.
The girls like Nordstrom Rack.
What girls?
I don't know. The girls.
Nordstrom Rack is nice. Not that I've been there.
Nobody goes there.
There you go. There's one right there. So listen to Ulta Beauty. They've been whining. I went back like for 4 or 5 quarters now. They've been talking about the shrinkage thing. They sell perfume and fragrances. Some of them could be upwards of $300, right? These fancy perfumes. So those are hot items for theft, right? So they've been saying for like several quarters now, we're going to lock up all the fragrances. And like last quarter, they're like, oh, we're at like 50%. Now they're like, oh, we're at like 70%. Just lock them up. If it's that big of a problem, you're gonna go lock them up immediately. It doesn't take you a year to put these things Dude,
if you go to Dwayne Reed in Manhattan,
dude, I was at
locked up.
I was there. I was in a Dwayne Reed. I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I hadn't been in one in a long time, and everything was locked up. Everything, except for the stuff by the register. It's crazy.
No smashing and grabbing there.
No,
man. They know what they're doing. It looks like, right? You don't see Dwayne Reed bitching about,
Well, no. Here's you'll like this. Here's how we know it's all BS. Costco came out. Go listen to a real retailer earnings call. Costco came out and was like, "Yeah, shrinkage is cool. Nothing out of the ordinary."
Hold on. I thought you were going to say that, and I have a rebuttal.
What?
It's hard to steal from Costco, man.
Oh, did you ever watch The Sopranos? They steal these appliances and VCRs and DVD players all day. These are hot items, but Costco, they're just.
It's hard to walk out of there with with all this stuff and not get caught. Listen, I mean,
you're from New Jersey. You know what goes on.
And then they're checking your receipts at the door and everything. I wouldn't steal, period, but I definitely wouldn't steal from Costco.
Not stealing from Costco.
Yeah.
So
all right,
the good guys can figure it out, I guess, is the point.
Yeah. Okay. Moral of the story: Costco good, everyone else bad.
We'll continue to cover the shrinkage.
Can we talk about this 95% decline in the SPAC?
Yes, let's talk about this. So,
first of all, what was the market cap when it came out?
Why are we so excited about this, guys? Can you give me some background?
Because it lost 90% the day it came out.
I've never seen this before.
SPAC lost 90%. I'm like, which one didn't?
Yeah. Strazza's like, yeah, just another day. No. This all happened yesterday, bro.
All right, great. What's it?
BETR.
BETR. So you guys remember? It's been a couple of years now, but this company went viral a few years back because the CEO laid off 900 workers at the same time on one Zoom call.
Yeah.
That's
the guy. Yeah.
This is that company. Okay. So they've been trying to go public via SPAC for 2 years. Okay. Trying and failing, extending the deadline, blah, blah, blah. They finally convert. They finally complete the merger. They go public yesterday. It opens at, I think what opened at $17? And no, it opened at 20. It opened at 20 because that's the SPAC price. Opened at 20, and by the end of the day was at 1.
No, it literally opened at like 150, but the day before it was at 20.
Right. The day before at 22. Yep. And then just got absolutely destroyed. So this is one of those situations. This is where JC puts his fundamental hat on. Deep value. Tell me how wrong I am. My understanding is that this is one of those low interest rate refi situations, and they were crushing it. They were making $500 million a year back in the day when people were refining, and now, see that Freudian slip? People were refining. People were refining, and now nobody's doing such things anymore, so they're wiped out. And shareholders are rewarding them for it by selling the shit out of it.
Well, and also they can't pay, right? The whole crazy bull market and stimulus world that we lived in the pandemic times, everybody's borrowing, and now it's time to pay, and interest rates are going up, and business is over.
Those people should be thankful they were fired on that Zoom call. Imagine if your compensation was tied to this piece of hot garbage and you just got blown up overnight.
It's funny you mentioned that, and Barry Carey is asking if it's just insiders. The company, people were reaching out to the company saying, "What do you make of this?" And that's what they said. They said, "Yeah, this is just people who have been waiting to sell for 2 years, but don't worry about it. This has nothing to do with our long-term vision of our company." But that's exactly what it was. It was everybody who was trying to sell for the last 2 years who couldn't sell.
How long do we get to look at this hot mess of a chart for until it's gone?
I think it's gone.
Anyway,
I think that was it.
Merger valuation of $14 billion. Valuation today of $300 million.
This was a real. Oh wow.
14 billion, bro.
Billion? Something happened. All right. What have I been living?
What do you mean something happened? Interest rates.
interest rates happened.
Yeah, but
interest rates happened.
No, I mean somebody with a lot of stock sold.
Everybody with stock sold.
Everybody.
Not just somebody. Everybody at the same time.
All right.
Yep.
Good stuff. Hey, be careful IPOing in this market. This is still a tough one. I know that this is a special situation, literally special purpose.
Hey, this guy.
BETR is the ticker, T-Money. BETR better, and you're better off avoiding it probably. All right,
you're better off forgetting we even talked about it.
And this is a point too. Like when you buy stocks, you have to be mindful of the cap table and the equity situation and the holders. Like it's a whole nother.
For most stocks, you don't, Strazza. For most stocks, you don't.
Okay, but a lot of people like to trade these hot speculative growth stocks, and a lot of them have cap tables that are worth knowing something about, right? Because dilution
on a rare occasion it matters. Usually, it does not.
But listen, it's getting more common because of even what went on a couple years ago. All these stocks came public, and a lot of them do have cap.
By the way, if you got blown up in a SPAC or in any stock, and you're blaming like this Shamath guy or whatever for you losing your money, you're an idiot. You deserve to lose money.
What's with all the arena tweets? Why don't I understand this? Am I too old?
Because this guy, he worked at Facebook forever, made a whole bunch of money, and then he came out with all these SPACs, and they all blew up, and people lost money, and people like to blame other people themselves.
Strazza, it's because everything he says, people make fun of him for it.
Okay, so it's just another Friday. Chamath's just getting trolled.
It's just another Friday, man.
Just another Friday. All right, bring in Kimmy. Let's make some money. Come on,
finally.
Let's make some money today.
Sheesh.
Kimmy Sokoloff, 3 for 3 again yesterday, shorting Eli Lilly, buying 3M, shorting Lululemon. Now, you called out the NVIDIA. The trade worked. Why didn't you put it on?
It's so volatile. I did trade a little bit of it myself, but it's very hard to make a recommendation with a stock like very volatile. Like when I traded last time, I didn't, I might have called it out to the room, said if anyone was interested after earnings. I don't want to get anyone caught. That name could be all over the place. And I did alert. I said below 480 could fill the gap down to 472. It did go down there. I said if anyone has an interest, trade in the stock. There was 2 trades in it. There was a bounce trade up to 490 at intraday, and there was also a short trade below 480 down to 472. So it was 2 trades intraday.
I love the mean reversion sort of mentality, particularly as a great complement to, what we're doing here, which is mostly trend following. I see here you like Caterpillar, looking for a Caterpillar short here, huh, Kimmy?
We'll see. I put stuff, someone, our email goes out to a lot of people and people ask me questions, why cat, why this? And, just because I make a recommendation, it doesn't mean I'm going to trade that stock. It also doesn't mean that stock is ready to move in either direction that I'm looking for it to go in that day. So, I'll see how it acts. 10 o'clock, we have Powell speaking, 10:05 to be exact.
Are you going to be watching? Are you going to be watching and analyzing his every statement?
No, I never have TV on when I trade.
Oh, nice.
Smart.
Nice.
No TV on. I do not like the noise. And actually, even when I used to work at where you and I used to work together, I used to shut off the TVs, and my boss used to chase me around the office saying, "Who's turning off the TVs?" And he caught me one morning. I couldn't take the noise and everyone talking. I'm like, I don't want to hear the noise.
But I get that. Like, who in their right mind wants to watch basic cable television while they're working?
Well, I can't focus. So anyway, but my best advice today is I'm going to be truthful. Look how volatile it was yesterday. The market went down. Could it pop today? It can. My best advice, if you had a good week, and of course it's Friday, option expiration, but if you had a good week, my best advice is don't trade.
Take the money and run.
I'm
gonna not take your advice, Kimmy, and I'm actually the reason I'm interested. The reason I respect your opinion, Kimmy. I'm certainly not going to take it in this case. Love you though. I was actually looking at Caterpillar from the long side. If it's above 270, it puts us back above that big stick, right? Remember that big stick? A big stick to start August,
and it could bounce. Yep, and it could bounce. So that's why it's very in between. Like, look at this down move yesterday in some stocks, right? You get Netflix and all these names, down moves, they could pop, but then they could get slammed again. But it really depends on what he's going to say. The market, if the SPYs go back above 440, then we could trend back up. If we don't, if we stay below 440 on the SPYs, then we could head back down to yesterday's low and then even head even lower down to like 433. Right? So we're very in between right now. And, he's going to move the market. Maybe it goes lower and then bounces the rest of the day. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to be stuck in a whipsaw. So I'll see if anything is interesting the first half hour or not. And otherwise, I'm going to say, you know what, guys, go to the beach.
Peace.
Go do something. Enjoy summer. It's only a couple more weeks left.
Whenever in
Kimmy,
doubt,
there aren't many summer
smaller.
Fridays left. You have to enjoy it. Well, no, that's not true. You're in Georgia. There's always
Right?
summer Fridays.
We got summer for another couple months.
Yeah, that's all right. For me, there's not many left. So
Getting a little chilly over by us, actually.
Right.
You're telling me. It was in the low 60s yesterday.
Right.
All right, guys, if you
All right,
want to
guys.
actually trade with Kimmy, not just like talk about it, but actually trade with her, join her room. The link is there on the bottom of the screen. It's in the chat. It's in the description. She's going there right now. Kimmy, go get him.
Have a great weekend,
Okay,
guys.
Kimmy.
All right.
Adios.
Killing
Killing
okay.
it. 3 for
Yeah,
3 yesterday.
she's
And she
crushing
says
it.
she's not going to trade today. I have a funny feeling she's going to put on. I'll put the over under at 2.5 trades, and I'll take the over. How do you feel about that?
2.5 is a good over under. I don't know. Can you say? Oh, I'll take the over. 3. The over is 3. I think 3.
Kimmy's worried about Jackson's Hole.
No, she just doesn't like to trade on Fridays, or so she says. But if you look back at the
He's
data,
not
she
worried
trades on
about
Friday.
Jackson Hole.
And she actually does very well.
I don't like to work on Fridays either, Kimmy. God.
Do you guys want to know the full schedule of Fed speakers today? I have it for you. I know you want to know.
Oh, God, go.
There's more than one?
Yeah, they're all out there. It's a big party.
I know you're dying to know.
I am. I can't even name any Fed speakers. Is that guy that looks like Cousin Eddie? Is he still a Fed guy?
What?
The guy that looks like Cousin Eddie.
Is that Bullard? I don't really know who you're referring.
What's his name, Strazza?
Like, he looks like Cousin Eddie. I don't know.
Oh, the one you call Cousin
Evans. Something Evans?
Oh, Evans is he's still on the committee, I think.
Charles Evans. Come on, tell me he doesn't look like Cousin Eddie.
There's been so much turnover the last couple of years. So Powell's going to 10:05. That's the big one. But then a whole bunch of them are making TV appearances today. So you got Harker speaking at 11 and 11:30. You got Mester on CBC at 11:30. Goolsby is going on at 12:30 and 2 o'clock. And then Mester is also again at 2:30. So there's your if you care about such things. I know none of us do, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Can you throw up slide 1 there and tell me that I'm crazy? Tell me I'm crazy. Come on.
That is not Cousin Eddie.
Come on. Throw it up. Let the audience vote. Tell me that Charles Evans, the 9th president and chief executive officer of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, tell me that he doesn't look like Cousin Eddie. Am I wrong? Come on. No? No love? Jason's crazy? All right.
A little bit. All right. Strazza, what did you mean by this tweet that wait, what did you do here? You just quoted you're making a meme. Is that what this is?
Is this a meme? Is that a meme? Is that what I did?
I guess that's what you did.
Wasn't intentional.
How does one do a meme?
I didn't think I was doing a meme.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll let me bring the tweet up.
I thought like a graphic image has to move in a meme.
Nobody in the chat thinks that Charles Evans looks like Cousin Eddie. Am I the only one? The
What did I
similarities are uncanny.
Are you done?
I'm just getting going.
So yesterday, Patrick Harker, said that the Fed has probably done enough. And that's really been the narrative. And that's what Fed Fund futures reflect, right?
And who's the Parker guy? Who's Parker?
He's just one of the members.
Got it. How many members are there?
He's one of the central banks, right? One of the regional banks. I don't know. The committee members, like 12. I wrote about this way back in the day on the Trade Exchange blog. JC, not only did I write all about the FOMC committee, and I totally forget about it, but we did a bio on each member. and whether they were like hawkish or dovish. Can you imagine? How much would you have hated that?
I would quit on the spot.
So look, the Fed is saying one thing that they're probably done, but when you zoom way out on a chart of interest rates, and David Lundgren on our show the other day mentioned exactly this. We broke this, generational trend line. One would think this sure has the makings of a textbook trend reversal. And after a trend reversal, you tend to get a nice markup phase. It's really only just beginning. Is this bad technical analysis? Am I doing something wrong here? Do we really have to make it any more complicated than this? Trend is reversing. So
Maybe.
Sideways or higher, but to bet on rates going back to where they were right now after this, what do you make
I
of
don't think this is bad technical analysis. I think this is an interesting observation.
I know
that may lead to higher rates and may not. I don't think it's bad technical analysis. I would argue it's even good technical analysis. It's still,
yeah.
But remember, technical analysis doesn't give us all the answers, but it does go a long way in helping us ask the right questions, and that's what you're doing here. So I'd say well done, actually.
I think we have some friends who would probably make fun of me for using the monthly RSI, but it's for illustrative purposes. There hasn't been this aggressive of a rise in interest rates.
Are you one of those people who care what other people think? Are you one of those?
No, this is great, TA. I don't know. This is good stuff. And then throw up the chart of the dollar too, right? Because it's Fed Day. Everybody's gonna be talking about Jackson's Hole. Talk about the dollar and interest rates here. These two charts to me are just both so important, right? If these two lines are moving up and to the right, it's going to be a tough time for stocks and risk assets. And both of them, this is a major turning point potentially for the dollar too. Whether it goes higher or lower from here, this is an inflection point. So I think it's really decision time for the dollar here. If rates in the dollar are, resolving these ranges higher, like JC keeps saying, you got overhead supply in the stock market, it could be a rough back half of the year.
All right, let's check in on the market. Dow futures down, Dow futures up 100 points, 30 basis points. S&P's about the same, 30 basis points. NASDAQ up 50 basis points. Bonds down a little, gold down a little, silver down a little, copper down a little, oil up 1.5%, natural gas down a little, and the dollar ticking slightly higher with the VIX down and interest rates ticking slightly higher as well.
Shouldn't we do this
check-in on the markets?
Shouldn't we do this check-in after the bell?
Well, it's good to at least,
check in on the markets just before the bell,
Yeah, take stock as we're about to open here, and then
take stock.
Take stock.
Take stock. Can we do a little hot corner? Because we got some action.
Yeah, we can do that. I wanted to mention real fast, the big loser of the day is Hawaiian Electric, HE. They are they are officially being sued by the county that they serve, and they suspended their dividend today. So yesterday.
Who's this?
This is Hawaiian Electric. This is the new.
Saw that.
Yeah. This is the new PCG or PG&E or whatever.
We said this. We talked about this.
Yeah. Yes, we did. So, but that is your big lose. It's down 24% this morning, and going to keep falling likely. So, all right, hot corner. Table was a little bit.
Don't talk about my table. Run that bumper.
Run the bumper.
All right. Where's my bumper?
Hot corner. So hot right now.
It was a good list today.
Yeah, why are you hating on the list?
I'm just saying it was like shorter than yesterday's, but that doesn't make it a bad list.
This guy Sanford Robertson, Sava. This is not the first purchase that we see in this particular name. Am I right, Strazza? Half a milli.
It's 2 days in a row.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, what do you think's going on here? I don't trust this company. This is one of those, paid research stocks.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you know?
It is. I know.
So it's a type of stock that pays people to write "quote unquote" research on it. So it's a pump and dump.
That's right.
It's a biotech pump and dump, according to Steve Strazza.
I mean, the chart speaks for itself, I think.
I'll tell you something. Back in the day, this was 7-8 years ago. One of the companies that probably paid for more promotional research than anybody at the time it's now called Axon. It was then Taser. And it's a legit company. and they've gone on to do, great things. But so I guess the point is that you just can't take a universe of paid research stocks and say they all stink. But it's a little bit, certainly a red flag, right?
Yeah.
Funko again?
Yeah.
Funko again.
Yeah.
Oh, Penn National. That's interesting.
Yeah, Penn National. This guy, it's a piker purchase, but this guy doesn't have a lot of money. According to Dr. Google. Dr. Google says this guy's net worth is less than 20 million.
I think this one's really interesting.
The Penn Gaming after the transaction with Disney?
Absolutely.
Dude, Disney sucks, huh?
Yeah, that one. So how about Wolf Speed Financial? Is somebody like buying the weakness in semiconductors?
I mean, we haven't seen that much weakness in semiconductors. It's just been kind of more like a lack of progress, right?
I don't know why I just called it Wolf Financial. We've had some friends who.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they're.
Yeah. Wolf Speed, about $250,000. Is that piker range, JC? How is that for you?
$250,000 is pretty piker. This guy, Lone T.
Tell us how rich he is.
The Dewey.
Yeah, how rich is he?
I'm not even going to look it up. I'm more interested in the Aeon. Can we talk about the Aeon? I'm gonna throw up here slide 1. So I'm not like Mr. Fundamentals, as you guys are well aware, but the reinsurance business, this is a good business, man. This is all math, right? They get these people, they find the best mathematicians in the state of Connecticut, and they stick them in these rooms like Milton from Office Space. Like, have you seen my stapler? Like they stick them in this room and just have them do math.
Yeah.
And they just make it rain money.
So my roommate.
Reinsurance, man.
No, you make a funny joke about Connecticut, but it's a real thing, right? So I went to school with a lot of actuaries. Yep. It's a big thing up there. Hartford, Connecticut is the insurance capital of the world. And Yukon places a lot of people. So I know some people who work at reinsurance companies, and you're right.
Fairfield too.
Yeah, JC loves reinsurance companies because he loves that money. These are just flush cash flow.
Willis Towers, Marcia McClendon, Aon. I know them all. And then hold on, not for the record, Warren Buffett's got his Berkshire Re, and Stephen Cohen has Stephen Cohen Re or something?
It's unknown if that still exists, but they have been known, and yes, Cohen did back in the day have SAC reinsurance.
I'm pretty sure that there's something going on there because again, it's just good math.
It's financing, right? It's financing. These companies literally print money, and then what a lot of
they're insuring insurance companies, and for the record, the insurance companies have great math. So now you got even better math,
right? And then
you got the Ultra Re, which insures the reinsurers, and it goes on forever. And they're just making it rain money. Again, I'm not Mr. Fundamental, but I know that there's good math here, and they print money, and clearly shareholders are rewarding them. Here's the chart of Aon going from the lower left to the upper right, and take a look at the other ones.
Yeah,
they're not too far off.
This is the one that you would be interested in. This is the one that we're interested in from today's list.
Marcia McClendon is making all-time highs as we speak, FYI.
The velocity of money is a beautiful thing. It really is. Especially for these insurance businesses.
And look at this Marcia McClendon.
No, throw me up some Wolf Speed. All right. So this is why I would stay away from this one. Semiconductors, really strong group, right? A lot of bullish chart patterns out there. Wolf Speed is not one of them. Here it is making new all-time lows versus its peer group. This is Wolf Speed relative to the semiconductor index. Aon, if we charted on a relative basis, would be the exact opposite. So
hold on, can we take a look at MMC? There's no insider transactions here. Most of the reported. Stock is not much. Throw up slide 2 there, Spencer, so people could see. This is the competitor to Aon. Marcia McClendon is a market capitalization of $95 billion, bro. $95 billion for Marcia McClendon, $67 billion for Aon. But these guys, they're just printing money, man. They're printing money. They get the smartest mathematicians in the state of Connecticut. They stick them in a closet and have them do math. I like it. Good business. No? Am I over shouting out the reinsurance?
I mean, I don't know anything about.
Listen,
I
they're
don't
great.
even know that reinsurance is even a thing.
They're I made a comment to you yesterday about like some of these boring companies. Sometimes they're hard to talk about, right? But they're great businesses. This is totally in that category. It's a boring company. Sometimes that's a great thing.
Can I make a confession? I used to date somebody who worked at a reinsurer, so
Cool.
I'm kind of in the know.
Cool.
Bermuda also, Strazza talks about how Hartford, Connecticut is the reinsurance and insurance capital of the world. Bermuda also, there's some kind of scam hustle thing going on there. A lot of business happens there.
Yep.
It's a good hustle.
And Berkshire does do well with reinsurance. Just seeing in the chat, big time.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't you tell the folks where they can get the old hot corner? One of my favorite emails every day.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did count the number of daily stock market or investing emails that I get, and it's like 12. So that is,
that's not too bad.
No. But the hot corner and the chart report are two. I don't read all of them every day, but I do read those two, hot corner and chart report. If you want the hot corner, where's my landing page? It should be ready. Do I have a landing page for you? Let me make sure it works before I give it out. So anyway, email me questions at stockmarketmedia.com. I'll put it on the screen. There it is. And we'll get you on the list for the hot corner. Just put hot corner in the subject so we know what you're talking about. Compiles every major open market transaction from Wall Street to Washington to the boardrooms. And we're not talking about, pre-planned sales, 10B, 5-1, whatever the heck that's called. We're talking open market transactions, the ones that are not planned, spontaneous, the ones that actually matter, not the ones that were decided 2-3 years ago, right? I see every day, another insider buy in Asana, but it's all part of the same buying plan. So what difference does it make? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't make any difference at all, so we ignore it completely.
Doesn't matter, right? Okay. There was an interesting article in the Wall Street Journal that I saw this morning about stocks that are like index orphans. They're not a part of any major index, and therefore they lose out on.
Send that over.
That's interesting. On all the flows, right? So like VinFast, right? This Vietnamese.
Yep. The ADRs. The ADRs struggle with this.
Right, exactly. But like Spotify is also on BioNTech, right?
Well, isn't Spotify, Spencer, like Swedish or something?
Canadian.
No, it's Swedish. Come on, JC.
Swedish? I thought it was Canadian.
No, that's
Shopify. The Canadian one.
That's Shopify. Get your Opifys straight.
Touche.
So no. So anyway, companies that are not eligible for their home country index because their ADRs are listed overseas or whatever, therefore aren't eligible for any of the all world indexes. So basically they're an orphan and they miss out on all the flows that come into those indexes. And I thought, and Coupang is another one that's from Korea.
I'm interested in that one too.
Yeah, new ticker NU is from Brazil. They're not in any major global index, right? So,
stop. Spencer, what is the market cap on this VinFast right now? Because I don't think I'm seeing
Lord.
this.
Oh, right. Lordy. No, you're seeing it right. Whatever you're seeing is probably right.
This for me is this is correct.
130 billion.
No, they get it wrong a lot with the ADRs. Do I have to go check? We have a reputable source for this.
Is this? I think it might be priced in dong.
I'm seeing 270. It's not 270 billion.
I think it might be priced in the old dong.
Well, listen, the stock is moving by 100% every day out here, 30%.
I know, but $130 billion Vietnamese company in US dollars, I don't buy that.
There. What's going on here though? Why is this trend so insane?
I don't know. I literally thought we were done with this shit like a year and a half ago.
Dude, right? This is crazy. This is a big company.
It's up 20% right now.
We'll look into this more. I'm not ready to talk about this one. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. Okay. It's bucking all the trends.
Look wait, JC VFS. See this thing?
I'm watching, man. I got it right here. I see it. I don't believe that market.
Can anyone tell me what the float is?
And this just happened as the market's been selling off.
What the float is?
Yes.
Like how many shares?
Yes.
Well, they got 2.3 billion shares outstanding.
Okay.
It says the float is only 23 million shares.
Oh, well, there you go. Right there. Thank you very much, T Money in the YouTube chat. 23 million might as well be 1 or 2.
True.
right?
Why is
So-
the float so small? Who
I
owns?
don't know.
Who owns all the other shares outstanding?
don't know.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, 23 million shares. It trades. What does it trade a day?
It trades 6.4 million shares.
It trades all.
It's a lot of turnover on the shares outstanding.
Basically, the other day, yesterday, more than half the shares turned over. So there you go. All right. I mean, just a crazy
Just
one.
to put things in perspective here, if you don't have enough Vietnamese electric vehicle exposure, this will get you done. Can we do a little chart report? I made the chart report, by the way.
I saw.
No big deal.
I should have. I don't know if I did or not, but I should.
Your chart wasn't good enough. Mine was.
You know,
Well, first of all, my quad resistance chart, made the report. You want to throw that up there? Well done, JC. Nice chart. Good work there. Being featured in the old chart report.
How far down do I got to go to get this thing? There
It should have been the chart of the day.
There we go.
To be honest with you, it was that good. I think this is a great chart. No,
it's good. I got nothing more to add. It's a good chart.
Good enough to make the chart report. Strazza's got to step his game up. Great quote of the day from Art Cashin, legend Art Cashin. Never bet on the end of the world. It only happens once. And if it does, who will you settle the trade with?
It's true. I mean, yeah, hard to argue with that. Hard to argue with stocks just tend to go up in the long run. So, okay, what else jumped out to me here? Walter Deemer, who I have tried to get on the show and have thus far been unsuccessful.
Walter Deemer trading every day from the nursing home in Florida, which is hilarious, I find. No?
We can get Walter on the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go for it.
He's down.
Walter on the show. I've been unsuccessful this far.
What about Santoli? Throw up Santoli's chart.
Yeah,
I like Mike Santoli a lot. Good egg.
Yeah, he's good.
And
he's really good.
He's looking at the National Association of Active Investment Managers, and the sentiment just absolutely collapsing. I've noticed over the years watching this particular data set that it moves with growth. You know, when growth is doing well, this thing's ripping. When growth stocks are acting poorly, this thing's falling apart, regardless of what's happening in the more value-oriented sectors.
I love
these active investment managers are junky.
Yeah. All right. Survey stuff.
Shocker.
I love it when Santoli and friends take our charts and remake them on the CNBC screen and then talk about them. Just makes me smile every time.
Oh, look at that.
I'm with Kimmy. I don't watch basic cable during the day.
Look, Steve-O.
Oh, hey.
Oh, he did make it. Ayo. Ayo. Look at that. One for the good guys.
I think we should let the chat decide whose charts are nicer.
Oh, stop it. My chart with the quad resistance is way better than this NVIDIA chart. Come on.
Wait, Brian D. Hunter in the chat. I've also wondered that question myself for a long time. Who is Santoli's mystery broker? We'll never know. I fear.
I don't get it.
He writes about his mystery broker every week, right? And it's like this one anonymous source he's had for like decades, and he talks about the mystery broker as if he's the boots on the ground, and he has good things to say, and he won't reveal who this person is.
He was my favorite columnist
at Barron's.
At Barron's.
Yep.
I would read him every week.
He's a friend of technical analysis. He does stuff with the CMT Association all the time. Usually, moderates like a panel at different events, things like that. By the way, speaking of the CMT Association, I had a little chat with our friends over there, and we will be putting on an event. I will be speaking at an event being put on by the CMT Association, probably early December. In New York City.
Huh. All right, guys.
I'll get to the date soon. First week of December.
Get the chart report. It's free. Okay, scan the code on the screen. Use the link at the bottom. The link is also in the description. It goes out every single day after the close, and really a great summary of the sentiment of the day. Right. I have found. So check that out there. Okay.
When we talk about the dollar, is Ian or somebody coming on? I'm getting tired.
No, Ian's whole house is sick. Apparently, I guess that happens when you have kids. I don't know.
Kids at the beginning of school, it's a thing. By the way, just You asked about my daughter's first day yesterday. Today's her third day of school. No tears this morning. No tears.
Wow. All right, good. Go, Alexandra. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's having a blast.
She just turned 3. She never did daycare, so this is the first time, and she's there. Today's show and tell. Show and tell. She's showing a picture of the family.
Oh,
we practiced yesterday, so she knows which brother is which. She still gets confused.
That's awesome. That's great.
Oh boy.
You should have her bring in her Doge doll.
The Doge. It's a pillow. First of all, it's not a doll. It's a Doge. It's a Dogecoin pillow.
Yeah.
She's into it. She loves it. She's got a Bitcoin pillow too.
Speaking of sick, I almost made like a joke on the show. I'm not joking about COVID, but we joked that COVID is coming back like last week. My whole family has it now. You guys got to be.
I think careful. I got it too. I think I got it a couple weeks ago also.
Man. All right.
It's just a common cold these days. Like whatever. I got over it real fast. It hit my wife a little harder.
So is that it? The new variants are just far less severe?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens with viruses, right? Is they evolve
and everything like that because we've already had it a few times, probably.
Right.
Well, that's what happens with viruses. I'm just a doctor. Got it. Thank you, guys. Thanks. All right, COVID update.
Yeah, thanks, Spencer.
All right.
We were just talking about off air how not a lot of Jews in the NFL, right? They don't make them 350 pounds linemen. They don't have.
Where do you think we all go? We all go to medical school,
right.
except for me.
They got right. Jews become doctors, not football players.
That's right. That's right.
You guys ready to talk about the dollar?
We already did.
I thought we talk about the dollar every day. It keeps going up, and the more it goes up, stocks ain't going higher.
We're up the consecutive up week chart. I want JC's hot take on this.
It's not going to be that hot of a take.
Where would I find that?
Sometimes you come up with some things.
There
Might be hot, maybe lukewarm. I'll take it. What do you think, JC? Is if we, a good day here for the dollar, this would mark the 6th consecutive week of gains. Not really something we see in downtrends. In fact, if we zoom out about 10 years to see streaks like this, only in the big runs, 2013, 14, and then again in, just a few years back. So I don't know. Maybe
what? The trend is up. Here, look, go to slide 1 there, Spencer. So
what do you mean?
This is what's going on.
We're at a big level here. This is decision time. I don't think we know that
I think the decision was 4 weeks ago or whatever. I think the decision was a month ago.
We just got oversold a month ago.
Throw it up.
Yeah.
Throw it up there, Spencer.
I'm throwing.
This was in late July, bro. This was exactly 1 month ago. We got back above that former support and it's been ripping ever since. And stocks have been under pressure.
I love the lonely red arrow. Yeah, your charts are the best.
Oh my God. I don't know what that's doing there. What is that rogue red arrow? What is that, JC? God, I hate it when that happens.
It's pointing to July.
You want to know something funny? Sometimes I'm in my laptop, like on the floor, and I got the kids crawling around, and they're always like pressing the buttons. So I'm gonna blame the kids on that rogue arrow there. Not a coincidence that the new 52-week highs list literally peaked the day the dollar bottomed. Did you catch that?
The same day?
The New York Stock Exchange new highs list and the NASDAQ new highs list, it was 2 separate days, technically.
June? May, June, May?
July, bro. July 12th and 13th, or July 13th, 14th. I think it's 12th, 13th. And that's literally the day the dollar index bottomed.
July. Idiot.
Don't look now, but a firm is now up 26% today. This thing is approaching $18. We closed at 14. We're going to be at 18 here in probably a few moments at the rate we're going. So, wow, nice morning there. A lot of green on my screen, guys. I'm only seeing a handful of red out there. Mostly green.
Now that the market has been dancing a little, Strazza doesn't like the pre-market market commentary. So now that it's been trading for 20 minutes, you got the Dow up 150. Oh, you got S&Ps up about the same, about 45 basis points. NASDAQ actually leading the way now, up 50 basis points. Treasury bonds flat, gold flat, silver flat, copper flat, oil up 1% and change. Dollar up a little bit, volatility index down, and interest rates creeping higher. And that is your market update.
I didn't realize you were talking about this July. I gotcha. Okay. I'm
You're still on this
Elliot.
new highs list?
Yeah, I just checked the math. You're
zero
right.
five.
Yeah.
Of course I'm right.
I thought you were talking about the last cycle. I thought you were talking about.
No. Hit the bumper. Let's get into some recess so we can go get back into trading.
9 minutes of recess. All right. Yeah. It's a Friday. We didn't have a guest today. What the hell? And I saw someone in the chat mention this. Yes, we are bringing back we did it one day, but we are going to bring back the mystery chart segment for sure.
Oh, they
week,
like
definitely.
the mystery chart? Great.
They love the mystery
I
chart.
told you to remind me.
I know. I haven't reminded
I like
you,
the
but we're going
people
to bring
do
it
like
back.
the mystery chart.
We got mystery charts for days. We were the original mystery chart. We invented.
We were not. John Roke.
All right.
John Roke.
Okay,
Can't take
never
credit
mind.
for that. It wasn't us.
All right.
Well, everybody's doing it now. So it's almost like
Of course, 'cause it's
saturated
cool.
market for mystery charts.
It was definitely John Roke. Shout out John Roke.
All right.
All right, so I am a big fan of ordering food online, right? And not like Uber Eats or like Seamless or anything like that, but actually ordering cuts of beef online. Crowd Cow, big fan of Crowd Cow. Wild Fork, another good one for the meat.
Like you don't order your meals, you order like food to prepare.
Yup. Harder to find cuts of beef, things like that. So here I place an order, a fish order at Catalina Offshore Products in San Diego. Where's Strazza? Is he gone?
He's here. The Catalina wine mixer?
Nope. The Catalina Offshore Products. Ready? Strazza, check out this order. I got some goodies like sushi rice and some seaweed sheets. I got some miso soup, 3-pack of miso soup. I got some poke mix, like some ponzu, just kind of messing around. But as far as the food, I got 100 grams of premium uni. I don't know how much 100 grams is. Is that too much? Did I order too much uni? 100 grams?
Wait, they're going to ship you uni?
Yeah. Are you not paying attention? How many pounds is a gram? 100 grams, 2 pounds. 0.22 pounds. Okay, so quarter pound of uni. All right, so that's not too bad.
Do you know what to do with the uni once you get it?
Do I know what to do? I shove it down my throat is what I do with it.
No,
Are you kidding me? I just want to rub it all over my face. I love it so much.
I know, me too. But like, how does it come?
It comes like in those little trays.
Okay.
It comes like in these little wooden trays, and then you could do what you want. You could put it over rice. You could, you know what these people do? A lot of people do it with pasta, and it's like an uni pasta. I don't do that, but some people do that.
Does it taste good?
Uni pasta?
No, the uni.
I had it once.
How's the quality that you're getting? I would be really skeptical of having something like that shipped.
No, it's legit. It's legit. So then I also got yellowfin tuna, wild sashimi, ahi grade. I got bluefin toro, right? So I got some tuna belly. I got salmon. I'm gonna make some sashimi. I'm gonna cook some for the kids, and then I got 500 grams of caviar.
Wow.
So that's like over a pound of caviar. That sounds like a lot. I think I may have gotten too much caviar.
That's too much caviar.
All right. Tell me what day this meal is. I'll be right over.
But I like the caviar, and my wife's grandfather likes the caviar. So it's usually just him and me drinking champagne, crushing the caviar. The Cape Cod chips are great with the caviar, a little creme fraiche. You're good to go.
So basically, you're ordering the stuff online because you can't get this from most seafood markets. Like even down here, like I can't. I can get anything from the seafood markets here. I can't get uni. Like there's just certain things you have.
At my market, I get the tuna, I get the yellowtail, I get the salmon, and as far as like raw stuff, that's it. Like I'll get some sole, and I'll make like a ceviche with the sole. But that's it.
Just so I have some kind over under was this $500?
Under.
No,
it was like 300.
Oh.
Caviar too.
In fact, I know it was 300 because my order was only like 240 or 250, and I needed to buy more things to get a free shipping. So that's why I got like seaweed. What? Is that funny?
You gotta spend more to get the free shipping.
Well, I mean, there's things that I need. Like everybody needs more ponzu sauce. Everybody needs more, like the seaweed sheets to make the rolls. Like so, No?
So JC, is this the same place that years ago you were ordering that tuna from Hawaii from?
No, this is San Diego. Are you not listening to me? This is in San Diego.
Yeah.
I had Giancarlo go check it out.
Uh-huh.
Danny says his brother is a professional fisherman and gave the thumbs up.
Uh-huh.
He says that when they get their tuna, they sell it to this place.
So they have a location in San Diego that the boys have been to.
Yes.
Boots on the ground. All right, nice. I like it. Cool.
I had already placed the order, by the way, and I've ordered from here before. But I just wanted to shout it out. Don't be afraid to order your fish online.
Wow. I want to see what the uni looks like when it comes. Take a picture and send it to me.
It comes in the little wooden trays.
No, but I can't see it. I can't imagine it. So just send me a picture. I don't understand.
It's not a big deal.
Sounds fantastic though. Hey, I had some great ceviche the other day. Also last night I had the pho. Wasn't the same. Just made me sad.
He's so bougie, Vietnamese bougie now. He can't have
Dude,
pho anywhere else.
You gotta come up by me. I got Asian food out the wazoo, man.
What about when we go to Huntington Beach? They got Vietnamese there. It's like the second largest Vietnamese population in the world or something.
Yeah, I was wondering. I feel like we should do another Vietnamese lunch like last year.
We are going to do that. Little Saigon.
All right, let's go again. Yeah, go again. All right.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, have you guys already like planned a lunch without me? Because I haven't talked to anybody about that. I haven't talked to Brian.
I mean, we just can grab Brian Lund and be like, yo, bro,
assuming.
Yeah, I mean, he lives there. It's not going to be that big of a deal. And it's like a financial advisor conference. You think we're going to sit there listening to financial advisors talk about financial advisor things, or are we going to eat Vietnamese food?
I'm going to go to some sessions. But no, just so everybody knows what we're talking about. Last year when we were at Future Proof, our friend and colleague Brian Lund took us out to the nicest little Vietnamese lunch in Little Saigon, right?
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It was great. So hopefully we'll do that again.
We will.
Okay.
Well, why wouldn't we?
Nice. Because I'm not sure. I mean,
we're gonna go out for pizza. We're in California. We're gonna go get some pizza.
Hey, California Pizza Kitchen, TPK, your favorite.
Might be hanging out.
That might be the worst. That might be the worst name for a company ever. California Pizza Kitchen? Really? Just name it like Nebraska Sushi or something like that. Like, what are you thinking?
I don't know.
California Pizza Kitchen is the worst name for a pizza place.
Strazza, your friends at Rourke Capital closed the Subway deal, so they got it. So, congrats to them. So we got a little fast food monopoly over there.
So Subway is no longer its own entity. It is now owned by another entity?
It's a private equity, yeah. So expect to see some Subway Arby's combos in your future.
Do you eat at Subway? No.
I haven't been to Subway in years.
I don't think anybody eats there. That's not good.
Years. I don't think I've been to Subway in 10 years.
Listen,
honestly.
Subway's not terrible.
They got like this slimy ham. It's got like a layer of slime on it.
Awful. I do the tuna, but I used to eat it all the time in college.
Right. College. Now you're an adult.
No, but I'm saying it was preferable to other fast food.
Strazza, you eat the tuna at Subway. They can't legally call that tuna. Did you know that?
I don't care, dude. I know it's like super low quality. It's just one of those things.
It's tuna fish. It's not bluefin tuna. It's tuna fish. It's these little nothing. Fish.
It was bread too.
The bread.
They can't legally call it so they're bread because it's
true.
too much sugar or something. I don't know.
What?
Subway
Leave
stuff.
Subway alone.
What's the poor man's Subway? The one that they put the thing. Kwanzaa, what's it called?
Or
Quiznos?
Quiznos.
More expensive. Kwanzaa. It's not even the poor man's. That's like
Quiznos gone too. That thing that was even worse than Subway.
Let me tell you, if you need to like press these Italian sandwiches, they're no good. You're not supposed to press an Italian sandwich. You eat them cold. That's crazy. I'm not a fan of Quiznos. I don't know what they were doing.
Well, also like think about it. A lot of the country doesn't have like delis, like real delis to be able to get sandwiches.
True. Oh, that's true. I'm aware. I have Publix deli.
Oh, but Publix is legit.
Yeah, but that's it, dude. It's not like the delis that I'm used to that you guys have up there.
Right.
All right. That'll be a good place for us to wrap here. We are unfortunately not doing What the Fic today because, as I mentioned, with Ian Cully, his whole household is sick. So we'll be back with that show next week. Thanks for everyone hanging out with us. We got to get off the air in a few minutes because we got to go watch Uncle Powell. No, we're not.
We got to go buy more. We got to go buy more bonds. Is what we're doing.
Go buy more bonds. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Check out our website. Follow us on all the socials. If you're on, the Instagram, if you're on the YouTube, if you're on the Twitter, follow us there. Look at that pretty graphic we had made. Thanks to Kimmy for hanging out. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Catch you guys later. Go make some money. All right.
Adios.
Sound good? Sound good.
Happy Friday.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.